Let's take a unified breath in through the nose and a sigh out of the mouth. Just let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in. Even bigger breath out. And this last one is for you. Take it on your own time. Give yourself the time and the space to receive the breath as well as to let it go. And then start to do a little circular massage over the heart and the belly, almost like you're just giving yourself a little caress, a little TLC. Just soothing the heart and the belly, the parts of us that feel most vulnerable as well as most reactive. Remind them to calm, to quiet, and to listen rather than react. Keep your hands where they are, and let's open practice with the sound of 3 Oms. Breathing in. We'll begin with a mantra meditation this evening. Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace. Listen in and then repeat after me. Together. Two more times. Shanti. Breathe the peace in to your lungs and your heart and belly. And breathe that peace back out to the world. Blink your eyes open. And go ahead and come onto your backs. And if I think I forgot to mention, we're working with 2 blocks tonight, as well as 2 blankets and 1 bolster or large pillow. So you're on your back, spread out nice and wide, like a great big X on the floor. Take a minute there to just feel your sit bones ground, even the backs of your legs ground, spine, the back of the head, with a soft tuck of the chin towards the chest so you feel the back of the neck grow long as well. Take a big breath in here and a big sigh out of the mouth. Then you're going to cross your left ankle over the right. Left hand finds the right wrist for banana asana. Your right cheek falls towards your right armpit and your eyes close. Take a big breath in once you've found the pose. And then let that breath go. So tonight's practice is focused around the kidneys, the gallbladder, as well as the heart. And where these meridians lie within the body are in the legs, in the feet, in the hips. It's going to be a slightly slower practice tonight because of the times we're called to slow down rather than jump into action or reaction. One might say that great work brings deep rest. However, in these specific times of grand change, where things are called to change socially, politically, so many ways. The list goes on and on. But the work doesn't have to just start and end with the obvious, with an action. Who says that great work can't also be great rest? To rest and prepare, or rest in progress, so to speak. But by giving ourselves a bit more rest and a bit more time and space, maybe we can see and go about things in life and relationships more clearly, more respectfully, with more compassion. Take a big breath in. Go a little bit deeper on the breath out. Slowly uncross your limbs. Find yourself back at that center X in the center of your mat. You might take a full breath in there and just observe the differences in the body. And then when you're ready, take it to the left side. Right ankle crosses over left. And then the right hand finds the left wrist. Let your left cheek fall towards your left armpit and close your eyes. And take a big breath in. Even bigger sigh out of the mouth. And drop in. Anytime you need to give yourself deeper release, feel free to flutter the lips or create a little shushing sound with the lips and tongue and teeth. See if that has any calming effect on the body. Any deep audible sighs out of the mouth. Anything you'd like that helps you to explore a bit deeper within the self and within the body. I actually have a little quote I wanted to share with you tonight that's actually been resonating not only with myself, but with my fellow teachers. We've all been focused on what has taken place recently over at the Capitol. Our work is not only what we do or what we offer, but it's who we are. Our work lies in every little moment of how we show up in life. We are ready to recommit to our evolution, to face our unconscious fears in order to ascend to a new level of self-mastery. This new moon is an invitation to recommit to our soul's path, the sacred contract we made to walk this earth as humans, to elevate ourselves and others in service to a collective liberation. So what we do here on the mat does not disclude anybody. Everything we do here on the mat is not only for ourselves, but for the betterment of the world. Because even on an individual level, can we reach maybe just one other person to make a difference? The readings that I took today were from, or not readings, but quotes and passages from my fellow teachers, Jess Ellen and Willow. And it really resonated with my practice because what we kind of talked about last week in last week's class, that the path of yoga is understanding that individual liberation is intimately connected to collective liberation. And as we go deeper into our practice, we better learn that we're not alone on this journey, that others do feel the same way. Maybe not everybody, but the point is that we're not alone on this journey. Take a big breath in here. And let that breath go. Uncross your limbs, come through center to your X shape. Take a moment there to feel both sides now that you have completed both sides and see if there's a difference. And maybe you feel like taking a stretch, reaching the limbs in opposite direction into opposite corners, breathing in and reaching, reaching, reaching. Exhale, let it go. Let everything just fall heavy to the ground. Then slide your legs together, step your feet to the ground, pull your knees into your chest, and take a few circles of the knees in one direction. And then if you did that, take it in the opposite. When you're ready, rock and roll your way up to sit. Next pose, we're going to set up for half dragonfly. So you're going to grab your props. Your blocks will be nearby. You'll need both of them. You'll take one blanket and it'll be your seat. So it'll act as a little wedge just beneath your sit bones. So you aren't sitting totally on it, just right at the very edge so that you feel your torso a bit higher. Your hips are also higher than your knees. And this way you're not slumping back into your lower lumbar spine. You'll then take your bolster or pillow, whatever you're working with, and you'll slide it underneath your right leg, which is nice and extended, lengthened out long. Your left knee is bent with the left foot on the inside of the right thigh. And then up to you, you're going to take your blocks. I like to bring my bolster really in front of me so that it gives me a little bit more elevation to bring the ground to me. But otherwise, figure out whatever setup feels good to you. You're going to set up the blocks so that they're coming right through center. So I found the midline. And instead of pouring over my lengthened leg, I'm actually going to pour forward. So down the center of this V shape. I'll stack my blocks and I'll bow my third eye down. My arms are lengthened forward and palms face up. Let the eyes close. Breathe in and breathe out. So this is like a Janu Sirsasana shape, but in the Yin practice, it's known as half dragonfly. So we're further getting into the hips and the hamstrings, allowing prana to freely flow, right? Because as New Yorkers, even during quarantine, we pound that pavement. So the hamstrings and the legs do have a tendency to tighten up. And because of the times and all that has been going on and what we've been talking about, we're working in the legs, we're working in the roots, our first chakra, our root chakra. And the association with the root chakra is, let's see, how do I put this? It is finding our place and purpose in life, in this world. and feeling strong and confident. But if the prana is blocked in our lower chakras, then it can be hard to feel rooted. It can get challenging to feel connected to ourselves as well as others. Remember to take any flutters of the lips that help you to better release and let go to the holdings on, the tension, the aggravation, the thoughts. And if your blocks are stable enough, maybe you rock your third eye from side to side, giving your forehead and eyebrows a little massage. Taking a big breath in and then humming on the breath out. Let's do that again. Big breath in. Hum on the breath out. Because we have our third eye connected to a surface which is grounded, we're immediately massaging the cranium, sending calming frequencies to the brain and thusly the body. Telling the body it's okay, it's safe. Your body is your temple, your home. All's well. Feel free to explore deeper. Take a big breath in here. And let that breath go. Slowly roll upright, letting the head come up last. Lots to the side and slowly start to unfold your left leg and take it really slow and peaceful and find a bit more stillness so that you can listen into the body. And I'm going to try to not talk so that you can really listen. And whenever you're ready, the next pose will be a pigeon pose, also known as swan. Our right shin will be forward, almost parallel to the top of our mats, but doesn't have to be perfect. Blocks come underneath your hands if you need the ground to come to you. We're going to be here a little bit longer than we have in the past. So I recommend starting from a humble place where you feel comfortable, but still like you're working on something. And I invite you to gradually explore coming to deeper depths, eventually coming down to a sleeping swan, which is bringing your third eye down to a block. The second one maybe will be underneath your heart. If you can start here and stay here, great. But if not, you can always start a little bit higher and slowly allow yourself to melt a little deeper. If you found your variation of this pose, take a breath in and then let that breath go. So this practice tonight is, like I said, it's a slow one, and it's a lighter one that we're not doing as many poses, so that we give ourselves a bit more time to examine ourselves and how we react in the face of challenge, in the face of aggravation or tensions. And just observing what the body wants to do, what the mind wants to do. If that all starts to get ahead of you, just return to the breath. Return to the sounds, the fluttering of the lips, the humming. Humming is a really powerful tool when it comes to pigeon pose. So allow it to support you. There's great courage in vulnerability. And by using our voices, that's just one way, one of the most intimate ways we can be vulnerable. And it's also, it's the scariest. That's why I say it takes courage to be vulnerable. It takes courage to have hope. It takes courage to trust. And it takes courage to change. And by no means are we all going to do it together at the same time. But the point is to do a little bit that you can, just a little bit at a time. You have about 2 minutes left in this pose. Are you still breathing? And if you are in a deep expression of your pigeon pose, your head is on a block, your heart is on a block, see if maybe you can go a little deeper. Can you take the block down the height, maybe? Maybe you try and see how it feels, and if it's not what you're feeling tonight, then you go back to what still feels like reasonable work, without force or pain. There should be no pain. Just maybe a little resistance that we have to breathe through and breathe into. Take your last breath here in your sleeping swan pose. Go deeper on the breath out, side away. Hands will come underneath your shoulders. Press down into your palms to slowly roll yourself upright. Very slow, very mindful. You'll begin to lean gently into your right hip to swing the left leg forward. Slide off the back of your bolster and keep the legs long and pause there. Receive the posture. Receive the breath that you sent to the parts of you that needed it most. And when you're ready, we'll come into our half dragonfly on the left side. So this time, our right knee will bend in, right foot to the inside of our left thigh. Bolster comes underneath our left knee, and we have a blanket here for a little wedge of a seat. Maybe you need your blocks. And you'll fold down the midline, down the center of the V shape, bringing your third eye to rest. Arms are reaching long, palms up to the sky in surrender. Take a breath in. Let that breath go. Eyes are closed. Even holding the eyes open is still considered holding on. So let them rest. Allow this whole practice to be a practice of rest. Almost sending messages to the legs, to the body, that there's no need to rush, that there's time to stay and make space. And even as your third eye is supported on your blocks, you'll start to feel yourself go a little deeper. The gesture of holding the head to the height that it's at with the props also is a form of holding on. So explore taking the blocks to different heights. So you go to deeper depths. And it might just be for a few moments, just to see what it's like to lower the blocks by a setting. It might still feel out of reach, but hey, you tried, and if that's not for you, then you take it back up again, right? The point is to listen as well as try new things and not be afraid of the depths that we can create. Take a big breath in. Sigh on the breath out. Press into your hands. Roll up the head last. Open your eyes. Walks to the side and lengthen out your right leg. And we've been here before, so you know what's coming. Take as much time as you need to allow the legs to flush out the compression, to allow new prana, new life force to flow through them. And then you'll find your swan, your sleeping swan pose on the left side. Staying quiet, moving softly, slowly, mindfully. Left shin is forward. Let it rest on the ground. Back leg is long. Blocks underneath your hands. The choice is yours. Start from a humble place, a place that makes you work, but also doesn't spit you out right away. And then from there, explore the depths without force. Nice. Mm. Mm. When you're ready, take a big breath in and a big sigh out. Mm. 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 Let your hums take yourself to a place of deeper release, further exploration, and to just thusly sing for the feels, right? Mm. It doesn't have to sound good or pretty or like anything specific. It just has to feel good. It just has to feel like you're healing a part of yourself. Like you're giving yourself a little internal massage, a vocal assist to the self from the inside out. Let the jaw be soft and supple. And let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Anytime that your head is grounded, feel free to rock the third eye from side to side and hum at the same time to even deepen your assist, your release. Explore a more intimate side to yourself. You have a minute left. See if you can go a little deeper with your blocks, or maybe in the gesture of the hands, turning them upwards towards the sky. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Hands underneath your shoulders, roll up from the back of your heart, press down through the palms. Head arrives last. Take your time. Leaning to the left hip, just swing the right leg forward. Slide back behind your bolster. Let the legs just pause for a moment. Receiving your healings. And then we'll set up for full dragonfly. So we'll need both of our blankets. We're going to roll them up like 2 fat Tootsie Rolls. And these will go behind your knees. And you know, I say fat because fat Tootsie Rolls because I need a bit more padding and a deeper bend in my knees because I have very tight hamstrings. But any size roll will do. You know, it all depends on your body and its availability and comfort level. But the legs will go wide. It's a wide-legged forward fold. And if you have an extra blanket, I sit up on a blanket here. So what I do is I kind of curl the outer edge to just put a little wedge underneath my bum again, so that I get my hips a little bit higher, and you automatically feel a little taller rather than slumping back into the low back. Yeah. Your blocks will come right down the center. You'll take them to any height that's appropriate for your practice. Third eye comes to the blocks. Arms reach forward, palms up. And when you're ready, take a big full breathing in. And a big sigh out. Let the eyes fall closed. Mm. Really beautiful. Because we've done so much focused work on the lower half of our houses, right, our sacred temples, maybe things are a bit more available, right? So again, I invite you to explore the height in which you stack your blocks. Just when you get that message from the body, like, hey, I can fold a little deeper, take the block one setting down and see where that takes you. There may or may not be a bit more availability, and both are okay. That's why it's called a practice. It's always a practice in progress, no matter how long you've been doing yoga, no matter how long we've been living. One more minute to this pose. Big breath in, big sigh out. Hands underneath your shoulders, press down to rise up. Open your eyes. And to slide the legs together. Blocks will come to the back of your mat. And everything off to the side of your mat. But take one Tootsie Roll and leave it right at the top of your mat for Shavasana. But our last pose before Shavasana is heart bench. So you'll take one block on the highest setting. Second block is at the medium setting. And they're about a block's distance away from one another. Let's say it's maybe like 3 inches. You'll step your feet to the ground, back faces the blocks, and you'll slowly begin to lower yourself onto the blocks. Now, once you come to recline, you will be able to better organize where you want the blocks. So you need the tallest block to just catch the back of your skull. where the medium block is behind your back, should not be pressing down into the mid-back, but rather between the shoulders. Feet will go as wide as the mat, knees knock into one another. Let the eyes close. Take a big breath in. Big sigh on the breath out. And because I did it in my practice this week, we're going to do it here because I think with all the sounds that we make in this class, it's only appropriate. So we're going to take a lion's breath. That's a breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, stick out the tongue, make audible noise. Ha. One more like that. Big breath in. Lion's breath out. Ha. And let that be your final purifying breath of any stagnation that was caught. Arms are long by your sides, palms are up towards the sky. So you get that nice shoulder heart opening. So this is obviously our heart pose for this evening. And after we've done all of those forward folds, those too worked into the heart. They worked into the back of the heart. So once we come to this pose, it's just like, utter relief. So open, so ready, calm, and poised to be open and to receive. Because we worked for rest. Or at least rest was the work this evening. When you're ready to come into your final resting pose, Shavasana, go ahead and make your way there. We already rolled up a Tootsie Roll that'll go behind the knees. And anything else that you might like for a more restful Shavasana, go ahead and set yourselves up. Great, deep rest comes great, deep work. Right there on your backs. Let's hum it out. Hum it out in an om. Breathing in. Namaste. Now, you can both stay there and continue to rest. Stay there, move slowly. I'm going to tune out so that you can just enjoy peeling out when you're ready and you don't have to worry about me over here. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Good night.